There is a movie in the deep recesses of the sea that no one has ever seen. A movie so hidden in plain sight that the world forgot its existence. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Like, I barely saw any marketing for this Aquaman sequel. One minute it was in theaters, the next it was streaming on HBO Max. In this movie, Aquaman is a father while struggling as king of Atlantis. But Aquaman being a father felt so out of character and boring. Where the first movie had adventure, badass action sequences, and an intriguing story, the sequel feels bland, flashy, and cartoony, despite the high production value. The first Aquaman movie wasn't perfect, but it was way better of a movie than The Lost Kingdom. There's a lot of recycled material from the first movie used in The Lost Kingdom, like the sibling rivalry between Aquaman and Orn, the return of Black Manta, and even clips from the previous movie. It almost feels like Warner Brothers just wanted to release the movie unfinished to get started with James Gunn's rebooted franchise. I also noticed a lot more humor in The Lost Kingdom compared to the first movie, where the first Aquaman movie's intro featured a deadly battle between Arthur Curry and Black Manta. This movie has Aquaman making goo goo gaga faces with his baby. Which isn't necessarily bad, like the Justice League animated show featured Aquaman as a father, and I always thought that was badass. They just didn't do it right in this movie. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agent from WandaVision is in this movie as comic relief, and I feel like Warner Brothers was so desperate to recreate Marvel's success that they hired this guy. And that's no disrespect to Jimmy Woo. He's a great actor and I love seeing him on the big screen. It just has a lot to say about the studio when they're trying to copy exactly what their competition is doing. And the VFX was way over the top. Way too many colors and things going on that I blacked out and forgot why I'm even watching the movie. Look, in terms of story, the visual effects is way too much, and it distracts from the main plot line. But if we're talking just VFX, those CGI underwater characters look great on screen. I admire all of the hard work and dedication that must have been put into making these shots work.
Thirsty for more?
Also, why the f*** is Mera and Aquaman raising their child on the surface world? You would think Mera would demand her child be raised in the safety of the underwater world. We also don't see much of Amber Heard. I remember hearing it was because of the Johnny Depp case, which makes sense from a business standpoint, why the studio decided not to give her a more prominent role. I mean, I guess Warner Brothers didn't want any more bad publicity than they already had. Also, the ending with Aquaman saying, "I am Aquaman," a la Iron Man, and then proceeding to drop the mic was absolute cringe. I'm sorry. The only parts I actually enjoyed in this movie was when Momoa broke out Orin from prison. After that, their acting was bland and childish. I consider Momoa and Patrick Wilson badass actors and awesome action heroes, but their roles were reduced to cartoony characters.
What? Bro, it's hot up there.
The first movie was awesome because it took itself seriously and there was actually a coherent story with depth to it. The Lost Kingdom feels like a joke, like it lost its way. I would have enjoyed it if I was 4. And it's none of the actor's fault, or James Wan's fault either, who is a respectable director. I've seen interviews of Wan trying to justify reshoots and encourage people to see the movie, but that's what any hardworking professional would do. Why would he bash his own movie? But I have no ties to this movie, so I'll just say it how it is. This movie sucks!
I pour my heart out, leave me on red. I barely know you or leave you instead. Think about you, think about me. It's all a fantasy, keep me unseen. It's never my fault, never your fault. Always my fault, feeling in shock. Wanting to talk like you really fucking with my mental state. I want you but I lack in confidence. I can't tell you I'm scared, and now I regret feeling the man. I know I did wrong, I know I'm not strong. I'm trying to